Hi, everyone. Welcome to Lazy Hive, where we talk all things wellness. Today, I have the lovely Jenna from Speir Pilates. I love the merch you're repping right now.
Of course. I wear this every day for work, but of course I had to wear it today. I was like, this feels very appropriate to wear my Lazy Hive sweater.
No, seriously, thank you for being an awesome partner, an awesome boss. I hear nothing but amazing things about you anytime I walk in. It's true. And I think you just do a very good job, like being so graceful and balancing it all. So I want everybody to learn a little bit about you and, you know, hear how you balance life and managing Speir, which is like growing.
Yeah, it's been a big year for the brand. We doubled in size this year. So it's been just very exciting to learn and unlearn from my previous mentors and being able to share that with, you know, I work with a lot of young people, especially a lot of young women. So it's really inspiring that I get to almost pass along sage wisdom and advice that I've been so lucky to get and I get from our founders. So yeah, it's been an awesome time at Speir this year specifically.
I love that. So walk me through the very beginning though. How did you get into Pilates? And then also, like, what drove you to wellness, and just walk me through your path, early days to now.
I don't want to age myself. Early days. So I actually started in wellness. I was at Lululemon for almost 8 years. So that was like my very first like intro to career. So like retail and wellness were really at the kind of epicenter of me learning about leadership. I don't know if you know about early days of Lululemon, but when Chip Wilson, prior to controversy, but when Chip Wilson was still really involved in the brand, there was a very big emphasis on leadership development and coaching. And he took a personal stake in really helping young people specifically get their tool set built of like what it's going to look like to be a leader. So I felt very fortunate, also very spoiled that was my first job. It almost like tarnished everything after that point. I had such high expectations. So I was in wellness for a while. I was at Equinox for a couple of years, and I was at Aloe when I was out in New York for a little. I think I just burnt out at that point of the peak of like wellness and retail. It was kind of at that point where it just became a very oversaturated market, and I kind of think it lost its way in terms of the why and the intention behind it. So I pivoted to the world of like medical and plastic surgery.
Okay.
I learned a lot from, I would say it's a very different world culturally. I was surrounded by people who were really like, how does this workplace make you feel? And in the medical world, it was very opposite. It was just like, what is the most revenue generating things, especially in plastics? Because it's not a surgical world of required for the most part. There are people who need like, you know, reconstructive work after breast cancer, et cetera. But for the majority, it's chosen surgeries. And so you're really working with a different demographic. It's very revenue driven. And so I learned a lot about very large luxury purchases for things in the body. I would say I don't necessarily.
Wait, what's the margin there? I'm so curious.
In terms of like whole, like cost versus like revenue in. I mean, I was working for a very successful doctor. I can't say who.
Of course.
I was working for a very successful doctor in Beverly Hills, and I mean it was like 75 to 80% markup.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm shocked.
Yeah, I know. I was like, you could just take that in. It was a very successful practice. We grew a lot when I was involved in that business, and it was interesting to be brought in because I had such a big emphasis on culture. I wanted to bring that to the world of plastics, and I think I did. You know, there were definitely ripples that were made. I just think that that's an industry that doesn't want to be particularly changed in terms of culture. So at that point, I had taken a step back and really like, what do I really want to do? I was like, I want to be in leadership. I want to be impactful, but I want to do something that resonates with me. And it was like very kismet. I was like, I don't know where to begin to look, and opened up LinkedIn, and like the very first job posting was this role for Speir. And I like harassed and hunted down Liz and Andrea, the founders. I sent them like emails, DMs, like everything. And I was like, I'm sure you already have great candidates, but before you hire anyone, I just want you to meet me just to see. I just want to be considered. I met with Liz, I met with Andrea, and it was like, I was like, I have to work here. It was very mutual. They were like, they could see my passion for it. And so
Lulu Equinox.
Yeah.
Hello.
Well, also just like I had done Pilates for years. And so even though it wasn't like my primary workout source, like I definitely knew about it. I understood studio mentality. I was on the R&D side for Lululemon, and working with instructors was really always a passion of mine. So it was very much like it just made total sense. Like it was just one of those fits that I was like, I don't remember my life pre-Speir at this point. Talking about it feels very much like I'm trying to muster up what I must have done. But we always joke where everyone's like, you were just born here. And I'm like, correct. I was just born into the Speir world.
I love that. Well, because you also helped them grow throughout the process. Like I think when we first started talking, you were opening up one studio. Now you're opening up 2 more a year later.
Yeah, we opened up 2 this year. So I think when we first started talking, we only had 2.
Yes.
And then we were opening up Newport.
Yes.
And then we opened up Mar Vista, and there was almost a third that happened. So like we were on Abbot Kinney in Venice, and then we moved from Abbot Kinney to Ocean Park. So it was almost as if we opened up 3 studios this year. So it's been a journey for sure. But I mean, it's been amazing to watch the brand evolve, and also to come in. The brand's been around for 10 years, top of next year. So it's so cool. Like I've been there now. It'll be about 2 years at the time it overlaps of the 10-year anniversary. But it feels, again, for 2 years to see how much has happened, and for a Pilates studio to be around for 10 years, that's at least from me out on the outside, that's such an impressive stat. And then to grow on top of that and open up multiple studios from brand presence, I'm just always blown away by Liz and Andrea. So I feel, again, like very privileged every single day to work for 2 like incredibly talented women.
Yeah. And you play many roles within, you do all operations basically,
Sure
the retail as well. What's the most challenging piece of all of it? Whether it's like balancing your own life with it or getting your Pilates classes in. What do you find the most challenging thing to be?
I would say the most challenging part for me, it's a two-parter. It's like the best part of working in startup is also the most challenging. So my favorite thing about working in startup is you get to put dip your toes into really every category. I'm involved in pretty much anything and everything that touches Speir. I make a joke. Whenever people compliment this sweater, I'm like, I'm a designer, thank you. But no, like you really do everything. Even if it's something I don't know how to do, I got to figure out the skill sets to learn it. So I think the challenges there also become my favorite parts because I am a person who loves the autonomy to create and push myself to learn a new, skill set that I otherwise might not have been good at. Currently, right now, I'm like, okay, I don't know much about the world of paid ads. I know a lot about marketing, but I'm not like a Google Ads, LinkedIn Meta guru. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to force myself to take a course and like learn how to master that. So
I love that.
It's because it's going to benefit the brand, but I'm like, cool, I get to be a student again. So that's like a primary focus for me. Yeah. I'd say definitely taking classes is not my hardest. I force myself to take class 6 days a week. That's like very much a priority for me. Okay. It's because it's my 1 hour where I'm like, my phone is away. I'm not talking to anybody. I'm truly just being told what to do for an hour. And I'm like, I need that so bad. Yeah. But yeah, I'd say that's probably my biggest struggle outside of just balancing personal life. I always apologize to you. I'm not the greatest texter and I'm so bad at responding.
Oh, no, same.
I'm not good at it. I'm trying to have more grace with myself that like my job is about peopling all day, every day. So to then outside of work respond to messages, I've become like paralyzed by it. I don't think people talk about that enough. Yeah. Where I'm like, when you are just peopling all day, every day and you go home and you like not have to people with the people in your life, but like it does sometimes feel like you have to. Yeah. It is so hard. No one tells you it's so hard to balance personal life and working when you are like a very active, busy person in today's society.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's true. I was talking to a Gen Zer and
gotta love them. Yeah, they teach me so much.
And I was telling her, I was like, I think I'd much rather now like call people because I can just get everything 100%. Through and like all the missed texts, like it's not a problem because I'm just, covering. You actually call? Like, who calls nowadays? Like, you mean like audio text message? And I'm like, no, like a call.
Phone call, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yes.
It's like foreign.
So Andrea, our founder, her daughter, who is, shout out Parker, she's my 8-year-old bestie. I will never forget this. She told her to like make a fake phone call when she was like, yeah, pick up the phone. We're gonna do a fake phone call. And she held her hand like this because they didn't experience like rotary phones. And she was like, it's so interesting that she was like thinking a phone call is on an iPhone. And it was a very foreign. She was like, what do people like say on the phone? And I was like, that's wild. And then even as far as like we have so many young people on our team who are Gen Z, and we rolled out phone calls. Yeah. And a lot of them were like, this is terrifying for me. Like, and I had to like walk them through that. I'm like, this is the same thing you're doing in person, just like on a phone. It's actually easier because you don't have to like read body language while talking. And they're like, I don't want to do this.
That's so funny.
So many of them were like, this is very foreign. And I was like, this just is such a, again, generational gap. It's just how things have evolved. But I'm very much like you, a phone call all day. I'm like, it's 5 minutes. Just give me a call. We can answer all the things and then we move on.
Exactly.
I will read text in the middle of doing 10 other things. And I'll like 10 days later being like, I know I'm forgetting something. And it's because I did not respond. And so I just won't respond. I'm not good at it.
Yeah. No, I feel like it's not even, the text messages is not even your fault. It's like our fault too. I think we've been trying to get you on the podcast for like, I don't know, like 6
months.
Which
I'm so excited to be here. I'm so happy we finally made it.
It's like in between. Like I want to say it's us actually because it's the same. But no, like I think you're perfect with text. Like
blessed to be busy. That's what I say. Yes. It took us a long time to get here because we're both blessed to be busy and I love it.
Yes. So what's most exciting in life right now besides Speir, of course? Like I want to hear more about you.
Like personal?
Sure.
What's most exciting about life? I'm really focusing on, like I said, like education is a really big thing for me. I think I wouldn't say complacent, but merging my life into Speir became so, I love the brand, I love my job, I love my team. So it is all consuming. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I really want next year to be a year where I'm like, what does Jenna as like a person want outside of just like, I find a lot of fulfillment in identifying through my work. But like, what do I want to do that makes me feel fulfilled as like a person? Mm-hmm. So my biggest goal right now is that next year I want to be fully debt free. Okay. I'm going to reframe. I'm going to be fully debt free by the end of next year. I'm going to start taking French lessons again because I really want to just be fluent in speaking and I can travel to France and speak it. And of course, I'm going to finish my paid ads courses, and I'm taking our teacher training certification next year.
Oh, wow. That's fun. Exciting.
Big education year for me. And I'm like, I was never like a school person, like didn't love education as a young person. I was a musical theater kid. So it feels exciting to want to be in education right now at this stage of my life.
Yeah. Probably the curiosity of like expanding
my brain.
Your brain.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. What's like your ritual to keep things balanced, to like self-serve you?
Do you mean personal work or both?
Both.
Personal right now, it is like truly actually just getting routines. Like I've realized that, I'm sure many people who are your listeners in the world struggle with like ADHD and neurodivergence. And so a lot of my ADHD and anxiety manifests itself in like clutter. I was like queen of like the doom pile of like, you know, the chair that's got the stacks of mail that I don't want to open right now, but I know I have to at some point, and the, you know, corner of my room that's got all the clothes that I'm like, I will put those away. And then, you know, 6 months later, I'm like, today's the day at like 3 a.m. So right now, routine personally for me looks like keeping spaces like ultra clean and doing it like once a day, like taking 5 to 10 minutes to just like what needs to be organized. And then that helps me ground right now to actually showing up for myself to be like, cool, I deserve spaces that don't feel chaotic, and then therefore my brain doesn't feel chaotic. So that's personal, and I think that's manifested itself into professional. Routine for me work-wise is like I do schedule, like I said, my workout class is like the anchor of the day. So it's like I'm scheduling that, and then I build my day around that. So I build making sure like what are my touch points with my team? What are my touch points with my leaders? What are my touch points with the community? And, you know, I'm constantly getting to a place with my, you know, all of my teams to be thinking like, what does future look like? How are we setting a future target and then working backwards and then building our schedules out around that? So that's been so nice and lovely to see like my younger leaders start to adapt to that, and then they start to feel really fulfilled when they start to accomplish a lot. And it's just cool to see like the impact of that.